Gentlemen, imagine this. You have just finished that test you totally studied for instead of binging the first season of Attack on Titan all night. On your way home, you decide to boot up good old Dokkan Battle. The new Dokkan Fest LR Bacterian looks pretty damn strong after all. But you get distracted by a big booty Latina girl walking down the street. You rush over as any normal person would do, but tragedy strikes. You trip over your own useless little feet and fall down the stairs. You have died. Your life in this world is now over. But don't be too sad. You have been chosen to reincarnate into the legendary world of Dragon Ball. You are now the great hero, Yamcha. Dragon Ball Gaiden, That Time I Got Reincarnated as Yamcha, is a fan manga that features the world of Dragon Ball. It is pretty much the closest a fan manga will ever get to being a part of the actual Dragon Ball world, quote unquote, that is. The funny backstory of this manga is that it was written and illustrated by Dragon Garow Lee, a Japanese manga writer from Osaka. He is actually known for being a huge contributor to the Dragon Ball Doujin sector of the internet. If you've ever read a Dragon Ball Doujin, it's probably by Dragon Garow Lee. And he is also known for being pretty much the biggest Yamcha fan in like the Japanese Dragon Ball community, pretty much. So one fateful day, the Dragon Ball Room team from Shueisha themselves selected Lee to draw the Yamcha manga. This fan manga was actually ordered to be made by Shueisha. They actually commissioned a doujin artist to make them a manga. Not gonna lie, Shueisha, that's pretty based. Like, props to you guys. Like, there's not a lot of companies who would be comfortable with doing that. But this manga is actually pretty damn interesting. It touches upon the fact that guys like Yamcha could have done so much better if they had only known what was to come. Knowledge really is power after all. In this story, due to his knowledge of the Dragon Ball world, Yamcha, or the person reincarnated as Yamcha, knows that he will die to the Cybermen once the Saiyans arrive. He therefore decides to change the story entirely. He goes off to train to ensure his survival, but he also knows that even if he manages to outlive his fate against the Cybermen, it won't last very long. Vegeta and Nappa will still be there to greet him with open arms. But our hero also has an answer for this. This version of Yamcha trained with Krillin and Goku, he drank the sacred water after besting Korin, but he also knows that this won't be enough. And this is where the knowledge of the Dragon Ball world really does step in, because normally nobody would even consider looking outside of the Earth for ways to get stronger this early on in the story. He actually travels to Namek using the secret spaceship Piccolo used to get to Earth all those years ago. Here he has the Grand Elder Guru awaken his hidden potential and trains with Nil until it is time to confront the Saiyans. He makes quick work of all 6 Cybermen, surviving his fated death with great ease. Vegeta reaches power level to be an insane level of over 10,000. He easily crushes Nappa, but Vegeta is still far too much to handle. Together with Goku, he manages to distract Vegeta by using the knowledge that Vegeta knows and fears Beerus. He shouts that Beerus is right behind him and kicks him up in the air, and at the same time Goku has managed to charge up a Kamehameha strong enough to beat Vegeta once and for all. That's right, in this story Vegeta actually falls during the Battle of Earth, or so you thought. As it happens, Vegeta still survives and escapes, and Yamcha prepares to finish him off, but he doesn't do it. He remembers the importance of Trunks and the person Vegeta could potentially become, and lets the Saiyan go. But this is not exactly where his story ends. As Kami deduces from Up on the Lookout, there is another one like Yamcha among his allies, another one who is not who they seem to be. Eventually, we skip ahead to the beginning of these Cell games where everybody gathers to enter the tournament, except for Yamcha and Chaozu. It turns out the other reincarnated person was none other than Chaozu this whole time. Yamcha had actually suspected this all along. After seeing Chaozu being able to do actual math during the 22nd World Tournament, Yamcha knew something was up. The ultimate battle between Yamcha and Chaozu unfolds, which is really fun to say, like the ultimate battle between Yamcha and Chaozu, but it's actually illustrated really well. They exchange attacks and Yamcha manages to eventually catch the imposter with the evil containment wave, but lets him go. He realizes that the identity of this imposter is none other than the other strongest Dokkan battle player who mindlessly grinds the World Tournament tournament aside from himself. They actually make up and the story progresses the way it normally would. Even though Yamcha had gotten so much stronger than he could have possibly gotten under normal circumstances, he knows he was never a match for the likes of Cell and Frieza and Boo and everything that came after that. It is even revealed that his entire reincarnation game was just a brotherly wager between Champa and Beerus, and as the two argue about who actually won this one, Whis returns their souls to their original bodies. But it seems our unlikely hero has gotten one small last present from his time as Yamcha, a singular panty flash with the power of anime. Now, I absolutely love this little manga because you can just tell that this was written by someone who truly does love everything about Dragon Ball. He actually found a realistic way that Yamcha could become stronger without making him into an overpowered OC like you would often see on sites like DeviantArt or something like that back in the day. Me being a massive Yamcha stan myself could really feel the love for this character by Lee. He also really captured the art style of Dragon Ball 2, which almost makes it seem like an official spin-off manga like Dragon Ball Minus was, for example. I just really wanted to share this piece of art with you guys today because I just simply enjoyed it an awful lot. I especially like that even though you made Yamcha stronger and better than he could ever be really, you didn't make him unrealistically powerful. Sure, he was able to compete with Vegeta and he might have been able to help on Namek, but by the time we get to Frieza and Cell, there's just nothing he could have done. Like, I appreciate the fact that he didn't make Yamcha like some isekai protagonist that just one-shots everything. No, it's still Yamcha, just a stronger version than the Yamcha we're used to. And I really do wish there were infinitely more of these high-quality short-form mangas out there. I know you have stuff like Dragon Ball Multiverse, but honestly, Multiverse is very hit or miss to me. There are some parts of it I really like, but a lot of other parts that I just find incredibly stupid. So, you know, Garow Lee, if you're watching this, Tien could also use some love, you know. Wink wink. But with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching today's video. As per usual, I truly appreciate every single viewer that takes the time out of their busy day to watch my content. It makes me very happy to know that even a handful of people enjoy the content I produce. So if you would like to see more of my content in the future, please consider clicking the subscribe button and turning on all notifications for my channel. I would also really appreciate it if you would consider liking the video and leaving a comment with your thoughts down below. So yeah, work hard, study well and eat and sleep plenty, and I will see you all again in the next video. Peace out.